Other than the snow, how's spring ball been so far?
It's been good getting back out there. There's some rust that we had to knock off there in the first couple of days, and obviously a little bit of adversity with the snow. But we had a good start to this week so far. I felt like the guys, the energy's been high, the enthusiasm's been there, and the attention to detail's been there. So I've been happy with everybody where the work we've gotten in so far.
How's this compare or contrast from this time last year?
Um, I don't know. I feel like every single spring ball and every single fall camp is just different. You have different guys, and so it's really hard to just strictly compare it. Apples to apples. It's always there's just different. There's different characters and whatnot. There's different just things that we have to work on. So I suppose we're just more or less preparing for this upcoming season the best that we can, and we're adjusting how we need to.
And your new receivers that you have, some of those transfers and younger guys too, how have they been so far?
Yeah, it's been great to see. Obviously, all the work that they put in over this off season in the weight room, in the film room, kind of come to get to see a little bit come to that fruition, I suppose. Obviously, main goal is that week one and then into the season, but right now they've progressed quite well, and we're excited for where they're at.
I know on that O line, you guys have been kind of rotating guys in and out, a couple guys out. How have they looked so far on the O line?
Yeah, I mean they're great. Just as they kind of always have, they got guys in there. They have, that work their butt off. They do everything they need to. Super competitive group. We have, just so many that can play. So yeah, like you were saying, we're just rotating, and that just talks about our depth and the skill that we have at that position.
What's the quarterback room look like this spring? Is Jordan practicing full on, or is he still kind of easing back into it?
Yeah, Jordan, he got hurt early, or not early, but yeah, early last year, middle of fall camp, and so we're just obviously spring. You don't want to have guys injured, so he's just taking care of himself, just as everyone else is. Just not a whole lot of contact and stuff like that. But Jordan's been doing great, and the rest of the room, I feel like we're pretty young, or maybe I'm just getting old in that room. I don't know which one it is, but it's been fun to see everybody grow, and I think that I think the quarterback room is in a good spot for week one of spring ball.
How does it feel to be one of the older guys now, I guess?
Yeah, it's weird for sure. I'm just thinking it's like 2 spring balls ago, it was my first real introduction to any college football at all, and then it's like all of a sudden you're like an older guy in the room, which it just is so different. I suppose it was a quick 2 years.
What's a part of your game that you feel like you've improved upon from last year's pretty great season from you?
Yeah, I don't know. We have so many things to improve for sure, and I do certainly. Decision making. Understanding our offense continually. Just getting better and better at that, and then more or less just getting more comfortable with the new guys that we have here. Just growing on their scheme and stuff like that. So, I think I've got a lot of things to improve on, and I'm working on them right now for sure during spring ball. So.
It's obviously really early, and you're kind of probably still getting used to some of these guys that transferred in this spring. But some of those transfers, Ty, what's kind of that relationship been like already with that receiver room?
Yeah, I mean they've been great. I think that we recruit guys that we don't have to mold them into our culture, but in general, they already have that culture, and that's the type of person that they are. So they came in here and they got to work in immediately, and that's what was expected of them, and that's what they certainly did. And so getting out there, we're somewhat on the same page, just trying to clean up a little bit here and there where there's a little bit of disconnection. But the relationship, just personally, those guys they're great guys, leaders, in the weight room that they've shown already through that winter block, and leading their rooms, as an older guy like Ty, and so it's been impressive to see what he's done is just hopping in a new program like this.
What's it about Chance so far?
Chance, oh, it's been great having him over here. I think that it shows a lot about his character, just being able to get to a college campus and compete at a college level, as he should still be a senior in high school, I suppose. I think that there's a lot of growing up, for sure, that that period between your senior and freshman year that it instills, just even maybe that summer. But for him to come out of high school early like that and to get over here and to work as hard as he has, it's been impressive.
Another guy that's come back from injury is Jared after last year. I guess what's he looked like? What's our running back group look like?
Yeah, Jared did a lot over the last X months to try to get himself ready to get back out there. And I think that, it's been great to see him compete, I suppose, again, because I know that he was going to be a guy that was going to be a huge staple in our offense last year. And obviously, I felt bad for him when that opportunity got taken away so quickly. But, he's taken it he's been super excited to, get back out there and play some football. So I think that the whole entire room's been, they look great, and they're just continuing to grow. We were pretty young in that room, I suppose, last year, so we got a little bit more experience under the belt.
How much of a factor does the weather play into what you want to accomplish during spring ball?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the weather for sure, makes it obviously difficult to run some of our schemes, with the wind and the snow. But for the most part, we don't really take that into account. We just we play regardless of what the weather is, and we just compete. And you get to see what guys, are going to complain and what guys are going to work through those adversities. And so I think more or less that's the biggest thing here is, guys don't complain. We adjust and adapt, and that's what the greats do. So obviously, like last year, our season came to an end in negative 20-degree weather. And so, being able to play out there in snow and stuff, it's kind of an indicator of who can play with that adversity. So, it's a big evaluation in that regards.
Just that last game, against South Dakota State, how tough were the conditions there? I mean, how tough was obviously the result? What kind of, how would you sum up, I guess, that experience overall?
I think that it was, a great opportunity to learn. I think that it taught us a lot about what we need to improve on for sure. I mean, the conditions, I don't know for anybody saying that it was nice by any means. I mean, the wind was pretty awful, but everybody was dealing with it. So, like I said, just more or less who can deal with it, who's going to complain, and who's going to adjust. So, I suppose those are just sort of things we have to continue to learn and grow from.
And you still made some good throws in that game, especially to Cleveland. How promising or encouraging was that to go into this season with a pretty good performance, at least through the air?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's obviously ups and downs, and so I don't know. There's continuity from last year for sure. Like obviously, a guy like CT, you get a better relationship with him, you get to grow a little bit with him, and but just in general, I mean, the past game we'll have to improve quite a lot, and obviously this time of year, competing in this kind of weather is kind of where you get to grow those skills, and so I don't know. I mean, I suppose it was a good way to end for passing, but not in general as a team. So there's just a lot of stuff to grow and work on there.
It's a small window of practice time that you guys get in the spring with only 15 practices. So what was kind of the biggest thing that House Wright is wanting you guys to accomplish in these 15 practices, specifically within the quarterback room?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always somewhat the same. It's growing in your knowledge of the offense, and it kind of depends on where you're at, I suppose. Like some of the younger guys, just being able to command a huddle and learn the offense just as a general basis. And then there's a lot more as you get older, just understanding defenses more fine-tunedly, and just being more comfortable in the pass game. Because everyone's got a different skill set, I suppose. So just whether or not you're becoming more aggressive, becoming more conservative, trying to find that balance wherever you need to be. So that's kind of where we're at. I suppose it's always subjective to each individual person.
Have you seen any changes offensively yet with the addition of a new offensive line coach, or has it been pretty similar so far?
I think it's pretty similar. I don't think, bringing Coach Allen, that things are going to change drastically. I think we're going to keep a lot of our same scheme. He's just bringing in some touches for sure. He's had in his experience, and I think that there'll be a lot of new information, and there will be some growth there. But I haven't specifically noticed anything that drastic.
What were your thoughts on that video that they posted of House Wright the other day?
I mean, I guess I get to see him every day, so I don't know if that was a huge thing in the community, whether if that was super entertaining or they thought it was, very out of the ordinary. But that's, kind of how I know him, so it's kind of, I suppose it was just kind of what it was.
Yeah, kind of true to who he is, I'm guessing.
Yeah, true to who he is,
And then, the seniors last year, obviously a unique group and really strong leaders. How would you kind of sum up their careers and your experience with them?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate everything they did for me, certainly, and for this program. I suppose when we got here, or when I got here during that COVID year, um, they were great leaders in this program at that point, and they continue to be that way all throughout the last 2 seasons. And we'll greatly, we're obviously missing them right now, just day to day. They're just great people. You love those relationships and building them, and once people leave and they start pursuing other ambitions, it's obviously a different um, situation in the locker room. But in general, just being out there on the field, they're playmakers. All of them were, and they build their culture here. So we're extremely appreciative of what they've always done, and we're just wishing them the best of luck for sure in their future endeavors.